Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name's Royale, respiratory therapist in North Carolina and South Carolina. As you can see by today's video, I am going to be talking about how to maximize your money as a respiratory therapist. For starters, the pay range for a respiratory therapist is $27 to around $60.48. And all that varies based on what state you're in. The states that I'd researched that was kind of close to the high side of that scale was New York being at 47, California being at 39, Alaska being at 41, and Texas being at 40. So for me, I make around 33 in both South Carolina and North Carolina. And, excuse me, you also have to consider shift differentials. So I'm a nighttime respiratory therapist, and I like working nights. It's just another way to maximize my money. Because I think if you're a day shifter, you just get the regular base pay, what they give you. And possibly you could get overtime if you want. But for me, I only do full-time at one location and PRN at another. But the blessing of having a PRN job, you can work it whenever you want. As long as you work your minimum required days for the month, then you're good. So I'm blessed that there is no minimum at this hospital because it's a small hospital. I won't say the name, but it's a small hospital. And I I work here around like maybe 4 times a month here, making $33 an hour plus the shift differential. So that's pretty good. The staff here is nice. You always want to make sure you're meeting people and being nice and friendly to people, networking, understanding new diseases that you've never seen before, things you don't understand. But going back to the idea of maximizing your income as a respiratory therapist, you want to look into states that pay, the least or the most, depending on where you live or where you want to do travel agency. And if you want to compare like certain facilities or locations, I use Glassdoor, and it's been pretty accurate from what people have been telling me and what I'm comparing it to. How I've been utilizing my money lately is, I think I already told you, it's basically I'm full-time and I'm also PRN. So full-time, you work your 36 and 36. So a pay period for us is 2 weeks. So you work 36 one week, you work 36 the other, totaling up to 72 hours total for the pay period. And then with that being said, just throw in the PRN. And like I said, you could when you're PRN, you could work as much as you want, or whenever they need you to. It just depends on your facility and their need. So I'm blessed and fortunate enough to have a PRN job to where my manager needs me whenever, or if I even ask for hours, and that's a blessing. Something I saw on YouTube, I don't know if this is true, maybe somebody could fact check me. There was a healthcare worker who decided to work for a company for about 2 years. Then she left, came back 4 years later, and made $14 more than what she normally made. Now, I've noticed a trend to where I've seen hospitals make a lot of money, and I've seen a trend to where hospitals only are doing maybe 1%, 4% yearly raises, while someone could leave for 2 years and then come back and then make $14 more. I was like, that's kind of, I wouldn't risk doing that because I have a stable job. But that's extremely risky. But you always want to have a backup if you were to do something like that. I'm not saying go ahead and do it and try it out. But I'm just saying that's just something I saw. And I don't know if it's true, but that's another way to possibly maximize your money if that's what you're interested in doing. I do know that a lot of people job hop. They don't stay at a job too long, and they always try to maximize their money by hopping around jobs. But the coming back part and then making $14 more, that's insane. So I just was wondering if that was the same type of concept that's been around that I just don't know about, because I've only been an RT for like almost 2 years. So that's just something to consider. The national average for a respiratory therapist is actually $43 to $45, but you know, I make below it. I make below the low side, 33. But 33 and 33 is 66 an hour theoretically. But you know, you don't want to work so much to where you are in a different tax bracket, but having all that extra income is definitely a help when it comes to certain bills, or if you need something, you know, just paid out the way, medical emergency, if you're trying to build up your savings, emergency funds and things like that. Also, make sure like you're putting your money to work. You don't always have to just keep spending your money that you make. Make sure you're saving it, obviously, and maximize it. Use the money you're making here, maybe from the PRN. Use your money from your PRN job and use that to maybe fund your business or a side gig that you have. That way you can have multiple streams of income. So that's just something to consider. I think right now for one of my jobs, we're going through a process of doing like a 4% raise, but they've been doing it in 1% increments. So I'm only getting like a 35% raise off the top of my head every couple months. I think our next one is actually next month in April, and then the last one is in July. But I'm not sure, like I'm new to healthcare, so I'm not sure if this is just always a thing that they will be doing. But it's just something to consider whenever you're trying to maximize your money and build wealth for yourself. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can leave a like, please. Subscribe if you haven't. And leave a comment if you want. Just telling me what you guys want to see or what you guys think about the topic. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.